Good evening. Welcome to Phi Alpha Delta's Fraternity-Wide Virtual Initiation and Recommitment Ceremony. My name is Katie Gibbs. I'm Deputy Director for Phi Alpha Delta here at the Executive Office. Currently, everyone is muted and will remain muted until later in the ceremony. Please note that the unpaid members, auxiliary members, and students from chapters that haven't yet completed the charter process are not eligible to be initiated at tonight's ceremony. You are welcome to stay on as spectators. You are just not yet eligible to take the oath of membership. If you have any questions about your membership, receiving your certificate and PIN, or connecting with your local chapter officers, please connect with our Chapter Operations Coordinator, Zena at PAD.org. You also have the option to request a direct mailing of your certificate and PIN by following the link in the chat, which I will send to you all right now. A few quick notes. First, we are recording this ceremony tonight. If you prefer not to be on the recording, you are welcome to stay muted and off video. We will be playing a video of our new initiates' names. And we are only going to feature the names of those that registered for this event as a new initiate. Current members that are recommitting will not see their names. If for any reason you are a new initiate and you don't see your name, don't worry. We have you listed as attending in our Zoom log. So, surprise! Tonight, we are honored to be guided in this ceremony by individuals who have served at the very highest level of our fraternity, our international justices. International justice are entrusted with leading the entire fraternity, ensuring that its mission, values, and traditions are upheld across all chapters. In this role, they preside as chairperson of the International Executive Board, working in collaboration with fellow leaders to guide the direction and future of your fraternity. All of the PAD members serving as officiants today have more roles and accomplishments than we have time to name, so I'm going to be very brief in my introductions. Serving as justice today is Ron Winter. Ron is a member and Justice Emeritus of the Buffalo Alumni Chapter, as well as Justice of the Niagara Frontier Alumni Chapter. He is an alumnus of the Alden Chapter at the University at Buffalo School of Law, where he joined PAD in 1978. He serves as clerk for the PAD History Committee and is a member of the International Advisory Board, the International Council of Chiefs, and the PAD Founder Circle. Ron has earned the fraternity's highest honor with his induction into the Distinguished Service Chapter. In the role of Vice Justice is Curtis Anderson. A member of the Robert E. Redding Alumni Chapter, he joined our Ross chapter at University of Southern California Gould School of Law in 1979. Curtis is a member of the International Advisory Board, the PAD Founder Circle, and last convention was elected into the Distinguished Service Chapter. Next up, I would like to introduce you to Jason J. Ross, serving today in the role of clerk. He joined PAD in the year 2000 with the Paterson chapter at Seton Hall University School of Law. Jay is also a member of the International Advisory Board, the PAD Founder Circle, and like Curtis, last convention was also elected into the Distinguished Service Chapter. Serving in the treasurer role tonight is John Miquel. John is a member of the Rocky Mountain Alumni Chapter and joined PAD in 1999, where he was initiated into our Mentschikoff chapter at St. Thomas University Benjamin L. Crump College of Law. He is a member of the International Advisory Board and the PAD Founder Circle. Our Marshal tonight is Cliff Schechter. Cliff is a member of the Las Vegas Alumni Chapter and joined PAD in 1979 with our Wormser chapter at Fordham University School of Law. He currently serves on the International Advisory Board, is a member of the PAD Founder Circle, and the Distinguished Service Chapter. Finally, I would like to introduce you all to Shelley Weinstein. She's serving as our alumni member tonight. She joined in 1979 as part of the McCormick chapter at University of San Diego School of Law. Shelley serves on our International Advisory Board, International Council of Chiefs, and is a member of our Distinguished Service chapter. Additionally, Shelley was the first woman to be elected into the position of international justice. These leaders have carried these responsibilities with distinction. Their service reflects a deep commitment to our principles, and their presence here tonight connects the ceremony to the enduring legacy of our organization. Elections for the next International Executive Board members for the next biennium is taking place in convention this summer in Portland, Oregon. We want to see all of our law student and alumni members in attendance in person. We would love you all to be able to fraternize in person with us in Portland, Oregon. Because of the commitment of our volunteer leaders, Phi Alpha Delta Law Fraternity International is able to uphold our mission of service. Service to the student, the school, the profession, and the community. Directly following our virtual initiation ceremony, we invite you all to stay online to connect and socialize with your P.A.D network. The ceremony should take about 45 minutes to an hour, and you are all welcome to stay on, but you are not obligated. At this time, our formal ceremony will begin.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you all for being here. Ron Winter, Carlos C. Alden, Chapter. The purpose of this meeting is the initiation of new members into our fraternity at your respective chapters. This is a proud and happy occasion for the International Chapter, as the benefits of membership in Phi Alpha Delta Law Fraternity International and active participation in fraternity activities will now be possible for a new group of members. On behalf of the fraternity, I extend a cordial welcome to our prospective members and their guests.
Justice Winter, I am pleased to present the following new members for membership in Phi Alpha Delta Law Fraternity International. I request that they be admitted into membership of Phi Alpha Delta so that the bond of fraternalism, which is the essence of Phi Alpha Delta, may be extended to each of them. Justice Winter, I request that each of these members be admitted into membership of Phi Alpha Delta so that the bond of fraternalism, which is the essence of Phi Alpha Delta, may be extended to each of them.
Thank you, Brother Schechter. Initiates, you have now been invited to join with us in the membership of Phi Alpha Delta Law Fraternity International and its pre-law program. Before we proceed, however, there is a duty which the laws of the fraternity lay upon me. I must place before you certain matters of which we request your deepest consideration. Phi Alpha Delta offers you an opportunity to translate an ideal into the practical side of your professional life. As aspiring members of Phi Alpha Delta, you must assume certain obligations and loyally fulfill them. This being so, in fairness to you and to ourselves, some indication of these obligations should necessarily be given to you at this time. The fact that you are here together is symbolic of our fraternity, with a common purpose and united by that bond, which is Phi Alpha Delta. We aid each other in finding the way to honorable professional service within the legal profession. United by that bond, we can achieve much for ourselves, for our profession, and for our fraternity, and for humanity. The attributes of integrity, compassion, and courage, complemented by professional service, are fundamental principles of Phi Alpha Delta and the indispensable ingredients of the character of a true lawyer. The other officiating officers here with me will now address you concerning these attributes.
Curtis Anderson, Erskine M. Ross chapter. Integrity is one of the indispensable attributes of the legal profession. It is that characteristic which makes a lawyer's services acceptable before the tribunals of our land. It is that unchanging spirit of fidelity to principles which makes it impossible for a true lawyer to mislead a court, distort the rule of law announced in a decided case, or deceive a client as to the strength or weakness of their cause. It is that undeviating loyalty to truth which makes it impossible for one lawyer to mislead another as to the status of a matter, the availability of witnesses, or the merits of a cause. It is that subordination of one's own personal gain or an advantage for one's client to a higher principle which makes candor a habit and a lawyer's word a universally accepted bond. Integrity makes of each lawyer a custodian of those high principles of the legal profession which ensure our heritage of human freedoms, individual liberties, and equal justice under law for all of our citizens. To tolerate the abridgment of these principles is to forfeit the right to declare that one is, of the law, a lawyer.
J. Ross, Paterson chapter, New Jersey statewide, and the New Jersey statewide alumni chapter. Compassion and courage are two additional principles which every lawyer must possess. Compassion leads a lawyer to accept the cause of the unfortunate, the underprivileged, and those who are the object of scorn and public disfavor. Courage brings a lawyer to press these causes and defend the rights of these persons with full abilities and a stout heart. Compassion and courage are essential if a lawyer is to be a true servant of the law for all the people. One who would serve the law and attempt less than a complete loyalty to these principles is unworthy of the status of a lawyer or of membership in this fraternity.
Good evening, John Miquel, Mentschikoff chapter, Rocky Mountain Alumni chapter. In conjunction with the principles of integrity, compassion, and courage, and deriving strength from them, is another which is required, and this is the principle of professional service. Professional service is of vital importance in our ever-changing world and increasingly complex society. Professional competence is the capstone of a lawyer's essential structure of principles and virtues. Public trust demands the enlightened leadership which lawyers are especially well qualified to provide. If the legal profession is to fulfill its responsibilities to society, we, as lawyers, must assume the obligations of effective and competent professional service and must discharge these responsibilities with the utmost of our abilities. Only then will our free institutions survive and the principle of equal justice under law become a reality for all of humanity. Competent and effective professional service in every form is a proper complement to a lawyer's indispensable attributes of integrity, compassion, and courage, and is the essence of Phi Alpha Delta.
So that you may better understand your responsibilities as a member of Phi Alpha Delta and its pre-law program, the officiating Vice Justice here with me, Brother Anderson, will now explain to you the symbolic meaning of our coat of arms.
This image is the coat of arms of our fraternity. An understanding of the symbols of our coat of arms will give you a better understanding of the principles and ideals of Phi Alpha Delta and of your responsibilities as a member of our fraternity. The Book of Law, located on the right side of the shield, typifies that immortal and undying spirit which is in truth the law, to which all precedents must bow and all rules conform. May this spirit, which is the law, inspire you with an ever-abiding faith in the rule of law, which is worthy of your loyalty and support. The lamp of learning, located above the shield, signifies that only through great industry and application will true learning be acquired. Be worthy of the title, a lawyer, you must be diligent in your application to the study of law throughout your legal career. Only then will your accomplishments serve as a true guide to those who follow you. The scales of justice, located on the left side of the shield, represents the impartiality of the rule of law, which gives to every individual true justice, without favor or distinction. You are of the law, a lawyer, only if you can judge with impartiality and fairness to all. The scroll, located below the shield, contains the name of our fraternity, Phi Alpha Delta, and signifies that fraternal bond which unites us to a cohesive force for the advancement of the legal profession and of our fraternity. Our name, Phi Alpha Delta, connotes the Greek phrase Philos Adelphos Dikaios. Translated into our contemporary language, Philos Adelphos Dikaios stands for justice is a dear brother, and another translation, love of humanity and justice for all. Our name thus signifies the two basic precepts upon which our fraternity is founded: fraternalism, the joining together in a common spirit, and justice, that ideal which we who have chosen the legal profession must preserve by exemplifying the principles of integrity, compassion, and courage, and by devoting our time and talent to professional service. The column, which supports and sustains all the other symbols on the coat of arms, represents our membership, strong, diverse, and innovative, whose duty it is to maintain the principles and ideals of Phi Alpha Delta, to pass them on intact to those who follow us.
So that you may have a better understanding of the principles upon which our fraternity was founded, the officiating clerk, Brother Ross, will now address you.
Phi Alpha Delta is unique in that it is the only law fraternity which was founded as a result of legal controversy. It has grown to its size and structure today from a series of events commencing in 1897. On November 4th, 1897, the Illinois Supreme Court, without prior notice, adopted a rule retroactively affecting all new candidates for admission to the bar. In response, a group of law students formed the Law Student League with the avowed purpose of obtaining an exemption for those students who had commenced their legal education prior to the adoption of this rule. The League was successful in obtaining passage by the Illinois legislature of an act exempting these students from its provisions. That organization of students was then formally organized as Lambda Epsilon Fraternity, Lambda standing for law, Epsilon for equity. It soon became apparent that this type of organization had universal appeal and that its benefits should be made available to all members of the legal profession. Accordingly, Lambda Epsilon Fraternity was dissolved by unanimous action of the Third Biennial Convention meeting at the Colonial Tavern in South Haven, Michigan. On the next day, July 27th, 1902, the Articles of South Haven, which were to be the foundation of Phi Alpha Delta, were adopted by those in attendance. After a series of meetings were held in Chicago, the Articles, a constitution, a ritual, and rules to govern the new organization were formally adopted. The name Phi Alpha Delta was chosen, denoting a continuing bond of friendship among members of the Law Student League and of Lambda Epsilon Fraternity and of the new fraternity. By 1910, the number of chapters had grown to 23. The next year, our first 4 alumni chapters was charted, demonstrating continuity in membership and service to our profession. In 1969, the fraternity chartered its first law school chapters outside the boundaries of the United States, with the establishment of chapters in Canada and Puerto Rico. In 1972, Phi Delta Delta Law Fraternity, the leading law fraternity for women, was by joint resolution merged into Phi Alpha Delta, and 5,000 leading women judges, lawyers, educators, and law students became members of Phi Alpha Delta. Thus, growing from a tiny nucleus originating in a legal controversy at the dawn of the 20th century, Phi Alpha Delta has achieved a position of preeminence among law fraternities. As you become members of Phi Alpha Delta, we ask your aid and support to ensure that our fraternity and its principles will endure into the future, as it has in the past, with the aid of those who have preceded you as members of Phi Alpha Delta Law Fraternity International.
Initiates, you have now heard our statement of those principles and ideals which must dominate the professional activities of a member of Phi Alpha Delta, its pre-law program, and indeed every member of the legal profession. To signify your acceptance of these principles and ideas as your own, I will now administer to you the oath of membership in Phi Alpha Delta Law Fraternity International, or its pre-law program. Please raise your right hand. I will now read the oath of membership in its entirety. Please pause before you accept. I sincerely and solemnly promise and swear that I will support the laws and legal precepts of my country and of its legal entities, that I will respect their courts and obey their legal mandates, that I will be just and honorable in all my professional activities, and will be faithful to those whom I represent, and that I will support the policies and principles of Phi Alpha Delta Law Fraternity International insofar as they do not conflict with my religious or civil duties. You may lower your hands. Not now, but soon. After we unmute everyone, but not yet, I will ask, do you so promise and swear? And you will all answer, yes. I will now ask that you unmute yourselves.
Yeah.
Yes.
I do.
Yes.
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
Yes, I do.
Yes, I do.
Yes.
All right. I have everyone's attention.
Yes, I do.
Now, do you so promise and swear?
Yes,
Yes.
I do.
Yes, I do.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
I do.
I do.
Yes, I do.
Yes, I do.
Yes.
Yes, I do.
Yes, I do.
Ron, you probably have to unmute yourself now.
Was I muted that whole time? I'll start over then. Thank you, everyone, for swearing to promise to accept those principles and ideals as your own. Let me continue with the ceremony. In this virtual world, there is not an official roll of the chapter for you to sign. Normally, this would signify your formal entry into the membership of your chapter. Instead, your names will be virtually entered into the roll of Phi Alpha Delta and your respective chapters. If we were in person, you would also now receive the fraternal greeting of the fraternity, which consists of a normal handshake with the index finger extending along the wrist of the other member, touching the pulse. This greeting is symbolic of the bond of fraternalism, which Phi Alpha Delta exemplifies. As we cannot shake hands with you across the Zoom screen, please instead view this photo showing the fraternal handshake being given by past International Justice Stanley H. Cohn. If you're not familiar with Stan Cohn, he was International Justice from 1984 to 1985. Unfortunately, he was killed halfway through his term as International Justice. At each convention, we hold a reception which is named after Stanley H. Cohen. The annual Outstanding Chapter Competition of our law school chapters is also named in Brother Cohen's honor. Members of Phi Alpha Delta, I take you all to witness that the new members here present have been duly initiated into our fraternity and their respective chapter, have taken the oaths of membership, and will be signed into the official roll of their chapters. Now, by virtue of the authority vested in me, I declare you members of Phi Alpha Delta Law Fraternity International and your respective law, pre-law, or alumni chapter in this fraternity. I hereby invest you with all the rights and privileges appertaining thereto. On behalf of all members of Phi Alpha Delta, I extend to you a cordial welcome into our fraternity. We are happy to have you join with us in furthering the principles and ideals of Phi Alpha Delta. Integrity, compassion, courage, professionalism, service, diversity, and innovation. These are not mere words. They are the core values by which we in Phi Alpha Delta are guided in our day-to-day interactions with our colleagues in the legal profession. Remain ever mindful of them as you pursue your career in our noble profession and live your life accordingly. I now recognize Sister Shelley Weinstein, who is present as a representative of the alumni of Phi Alpha Delta.
Shelley Weinstein, Paul J. McCormick Chapter. As a member of the alumni of Phi Alpha Delta and representing all of its alumni members, I extend to each of you, new members, a fraternal welcome into our fraternity. To you, our new members, we offer the guidance and assistance of the alumni in the achievement of your goals. I urge each of you to seek the aid and guidance of the alumni of Phi Alpha Delta whenever we can be of service. You will find us ever ready to be of help to you. To the older members present, I commend these new members and urge you to make them welcome in your midst. so that they may soon realize the true and full significance of membership in our fraternity.
The development and maintenance of a special relationship between the student and alumni members of Phi Alpha Delta is of vital importance and is a unique characteristic of our fraternity. I commend to you the greetings of our alumna member. Sister Weinstein, on behalf of all the officiants and Phi Alpha Delta Law Fraternity, please accept our sincere appreciation for your presence and participation here tonight, which will serve as a reminder to each of us of the bond of fraternalism which exists between all members of Phi Alpha Delta. New members, your initiation into Phi Alpha Delta is now completed, and you are now full members with us in Phi Alpha Delta or its pre-law program. I charge each of you to hold foremost in mind the principles and ideals to which you have subscribed today. With your help, Phi Alpha Delta can remain a real living force for the advancement of our profession and so of humanity. We have gathered here today to advance in this meeting the principles and ideals of Phi Alpha Delta by the initiation of the new members present here with us. The admission of our new members will ensure the future of Phi Alpha Delta and our respective chapters, and we are indeed proud to have them join us in our fraternity. In adjourning this meeting, let us do so with a firm resolve that our new members will be made welcome into our midst as full members of this fraternity and their chapters. I now declare this meeting of Phi Alpha Delta Law Fraternity International adjourned. Thank you and good night. Now, though, before ending this virtual session, some words from the executive office.
Thank you, Ron, and thank you to all of our past international justices who have served as our officiants tonight. If you joined us a little bit later, international justices are basically like the board president of the International Executive Board of Phi Alpha Delta. The officiants tonight are those who have served in this international justice volunteer role in the past, but I also do want to recognize John Karasek, who is here tonight. He is our current international justice. I want to thank you all for joining us tonight. We are so excited to formally welcome you into Phi Alpha Delta membership. We hope to see you all stay engaged as members and give back and volunteers as you grow within the profession. To learn more about the legacy of our fraternity, please check out padhistory.org. There is so much information there if you're into history like I am. You are all invited to stay online to connect and socialize with our PAD network. If you have prior commitments, you are welcome to leave at this time. If you liked this virtual event, you are going to love our in-person national events that are coming up. For our pre-law members, we have our pre-law conference, mock trial competition, and law expo. It's 3 events in one, taking place November 4th through 7th in Alexandria, which is right outside of Washington, D.C. For our law student and alumni members, the Biennial Convention and Leadership Conference is taking place this August 5th through 9th in Portland, Oregon. We want to thank the International Foundation, which is Phi Alpha Delta's charitable entity, for helping to fund grants for attendance at these events. At this time, I'm going to stop recording so that the socializing can begin. And for any of our past international or current international justices that would like to speak, we would love to hear from you. Again, welcome everyone to Phi Alpha Delta. We are so happy to have you here with us in this fraternity.